Hey everybody, Buzz Miller, Wannabe Studios. Going to be a quick lesson today. Real simple, but this can start a journey. A whole journey can start in one step right now. We are going to take our scales, the things that we play musically, and we're going to make them have some dimension. We're going to add some taste and some spice. Nobody wants to hear us play our scales through really fast because it's just not musically appealing. Yes, you can impress your friends and go, oh, look at how fast I can go through the Mixolydian mode, but it's not musical. Today we're going to work on just being a little bit more musical. The way we're going to do that is I was just watching a movie. It's a dumb Chris Farley movie called Almost Heroes. I'm out there watching my television and they play this little tune over and over again. And I picked up the acoustic that was sitting there and I kind of played through it and thought, that could either be the worst tune ever, it's only like 8 notes or something, but it's really boring until you add some dimension to it. When you add some dimension to it, it's kind of a cool little riff. We're going to go through and I'm going to show you how boring it can be, and then we're going to slowly add a few things and maybe talk about it, because I want you to see the ideas and then work on your own riffs, your own ideas, and adding these textures to them. Because nobody really wants to hear you do an Almost Heroes riff either. So the riff goes something like this. It goes, let me see if I can remember where it is and be able to play it like that. So it goes. It plays through that twice. It has a little variation the second time through. That is really boring. Nothing sounds more boring than. First thing we're going to do, when you want to start a solo, when you want to start a fill, announce to the world that you're doing it. Make that first note do something. Make it sing, make it scream. Whether you do something crazy with a whammy bar, but tell the world, hey, I'm playing, it's my turn. We're egotists as guitarists, we know it, we'll accept it. Hey, time for you to listen to me over here. So let's say we're going to forget that riff for a second. Let's say our band's playing in A minor. And we're going to say, hey, my turn. So we're going to want to play this note at first, and we're not going to go. Because that's boring. So let's take that first note. Let's figure out how we can make it more exciting. First of all, let's take it from 4 or 5 notes lower and let's bring it in. That already sounds like a note, not like a. It sounds like we want it to do something. Throw a little partial harmonic on there, that's cool. But I love it when a singer can go out and nail a note and have the control to hold that note and then add a little bit of vibrato and then a little bit more. Maybe let's add that to our first note. Okay. A little more vibrato. So there's our first note. So let's go back to our Chris Farley riff, and rather than go, let's go. We got that second note, which is the same note twice in a row, the exact same amount of time, so it's supposed to go. Again, boring. Let's take the first time we hit it and let's shut it off really fast, and let the second time kind of ring out, and maybe a little bit of vibrato on that. So now we're going. Then it goes up to here. But rather than pick the second note, let's slide up there and not pick it. So we'll go. Again, we've got the same 2 notes in a row. So let's do kind of what we did with this one here. If you keep the same idea throughout your solo or your fill or your riff or whatever, it kind of brings some unity to it. So let's do kind of the same thing we did here with kind of ghosting and shutting the first note up quick, letting the second one ring and adding a little bit of vibrato to it. And let's do that down to here. So we're now we can slide down to the next one like we slid up on this one. Or we can pick it down. When we hit it, we want people to know we're on that note, but then it hits the note 3 times, and we don't want to go. Again, again, boring. And that's not a note we really want to scream out there, so let's bring that thing down. Whether we palm mute it and then hit it light with our pick, or maybe we do something else, do some scratching with it or something. Let's do something to kind of subdue those notes a little bit. So we're just do a quick palm mute, just still keeping the time of it all, but that last note, we need to tell people that's the last note. I love Paul Gilbert. He loves to end on a huge bend or a huge sustain. If you got a whammy bar, you definitely like to on your last note. That last note, I was kind of stretching it up a bit and then letting it fall back down to its natural state and adding a little bit of, not a huge artificial harmonic, but just lightly tapping the thumb in there. So what have we done? We've gone from, actually, it's hard for me to play like that wide open. My hands just kind of have learned how to be each other's friends, and this one knows what this one's doing. It's hard for me to kind of back up years and kind of play like that. But we've taken something that sounds pretty kind of dumb and we've made it go. Again, simple ideas, but let's just take whatever riff we're writing and let's figure out how to make it sound a little better. Let's make it sound a little bit more musical. People are going to want to listen to Andy Timmons, who does this better than just about anybody. And they're not going to want to listen to me because I'm just playing my scales as fast as I can. So let's be a little bit more musical with our instrument. Today it's the guitar. And let's try to tap into our listener and give them something that gives them some emotion, that tells a story, that communicates some feeling or some desire, some longing, some anger, something by adding dimension to our notes. Let's take those 5 notes, 10 notes, 8 notes, whatever it is, and let's make them sound big, and let's make them sound different, and let's make them sound like they've got some variation. Let's take the notes that aren't as important and subdue them, and take some of those notes that are way more important and let's push them out there. That's the way we're going to go from being a beginner guitarist that doesn't sound like what we're trying to play on the radio to the guy that's playing at the corner that people actually want to go see because, wow, that girl, she really can make things sing with her guitar. That's the difference. So let's start on our journey today and let's keep going. That's our first step, but we got a long way to go. But here we keep on rocking. Till next time.